If you are a business owner wanting to take your company to the next level, get unstuck, or simply looking to sharpen your edge, then these next few minutes are well worth your time. Hi, I'm Doug Marshall of Marshall Velissis, and today I am talking to Eric Swick, President of Swick Business Strategies. Eric is a licensed CPA and lifelong business strategist whose mantra is helping business owners maximize their full potential. Eric is driven by helping his clients grow and is always eager to share his wealth of knowledge and experience with you, the business owner. He has a unique skill set where he combines coaching and consulting with tax planning to help business owners succeed and increase their personal wealth. I am sure you are going to enjoy his answers in this segment of 3 questions for a professional. And just to let you know, I've thrown in a bonus question at the end. Good morning, Eric. Great to see you.
Yeah, same here.
Looking forward to this. I've got 3 questions for you. So are you ready?
I am ready. Let's hit it.
Great. So Eric, as I mentioned in my introduction of you, you work with closely held business owners.
Yes.
And some of them struggle. They aren't achieving the results they want. And what are some of the obstacles that you see that are getting in the way of their success for a business owner?
Yeah, there's several things. The first one I probably see mostly is that these business owners, they focus most of their time on working in the business, and they really don't take that time to kind of step away and think strategically. And, I have this saying for the definition of insanity: you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. And that's what I run into a lot, and a lot of times I run into frustration. The other thing that I see is really a lack of direction. And what I mean by that is, employees want to know, where's this business going? Is there a future for me here? Is there growth opportunities? And a lot of times the owners don't take the time to sit back and say, what is my vision? Where do I want to take this business? And then probably the last thing that I see is a lack of clarity around their culture. A lot of times I'll talk to business owners, I'll ask them that question: do you have culture in your organization? They're like, oh, yes, we have a great culture. And then I ask them, can you define it for me? And I just get this puzzled look, because they've never really taken the time to think about truly what is that culture that they have, and also talk about what are their values. And, I talk about values both as an individual and as a business. And so what are the business values? Because that drives how people behave and how they work together. So I find that being something that is usually lacking in businesses. There's a bunch of other things, but those are probably the first 3 that come to mind.
So those are the causes. And if a business owner recognizes that they've got some problems, they're struggling, or they simply just want to take the business to the next level, how do you start them out on that process?
Yeah. My first step always is I just want to have a conversation with them. I have a saying that I listen like my life depends on it. So I'm just going to have a session with them. It could take as long as it takes. I don't charge for this initial session because it's just an opportunity for me to get to know them and understand what their frustrations are, what issues they're dealing with, so that I can think about how I might help them. After I have a good understanding of that, I typically I have 2 different phases of work that I do with people. The first one is, I refer to it as the best version business framework. And it's a 5-step process I take business owners through. It typically takes about 10 sessions. It just depends on how many people are involved. I'm working with a client right now that has 3 owners. So it takes a little bit longer because of the different personalities. But the 5-step process is I start with what I call the why factor, where we're really trying to identify what's the purpose for the organization, for the owner, and their people. Then we move on to what I call future view. And that's just really a process we go through dissecting the business and identifying what's your current state, where are you at today, and where do you want to be? How are you going to, where do you see the future? What does that look like? And so we do some exercises around that. Then I move into culture, because as I mentioned before, that's foundational. I think it's really important. We have what we refer to as 10 culture blocks that we look at, and we try to identify which ones make sense for that organization. Then we move on to values and behaviors. And lastly, we put together the plan where we talk about strategies and goals. And typically we do a 24-month plan, and we focus on 2, 3, maybe 4 the most key areas that they want to work on. And then once we accomplish things and take things off that plan, we add other objectives onto there and other strategies onto there. The other thing that I do kind of coinciding with that is I provide leadership coaching. And I do that through the framework work. I teach these leaders or these owners on different leadership skills and tools. I'm certified in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And all that basically is different tools and techniques that can influence or change behaviors so you can get the results you want. And they're pretty powerful and very effective. So that's the other part of what I do. My experience with business owners is, no one's holding them accountable typically. So they have all the ideas. They know what they need to do. It's just getting them to do it and implement it, because otherwise they get sucked into the day-to-day. My role is, after I build the framework and the plan, is to stay on with them and hold them accountable and coach them so that the plan becomes reality.
Your business model combines coaching, consulting, and tax planning for business owners. So how does the coaching and consulting side work with the tax planning side? This is interesting to me.
Yeah, that's a great question, because there's such a tie-in. And, when we do the framework work with our clients, we have always seen improved performance in the business. And so obviously, if you have improved performance, you're going to have more of a tax liability. And so that's what we're focused on. The other thing is most clients, they have an end game in mind. They want to get out of the business at some point in time. And that usually creates a huge taxable event, because you have capital gains that you're going to have to pay on the sale. And as we know, we've heard in the news, capital gains rates may be going up. So it's even more important to be thinking about that. The other thing I run into with business owners is a lot of times they think their business is worth this much, and it's really this much value. So part of the work we do is trying to get them up to the value they really need in selling. Once they get to that point where they're profitable, they have this tax liability, there's a bunch of different strategies that I came across, because when I owned my CPA firm, I had clients all the time asking me, Eric, I hate paying all these taxes.
Sure.
What can you do for me? And in the past, we had the few little things that we would do, look at entity structure. We'd look at, retirement plans, make sure they're taking all the deductions they can, but there's not a whole lot there, and it can't really handle large liabilities. So I went out and searched. Probably 10 years ago, I was introduced to an organization called the Advanced Tax Strategies Institute. And I was not only introduced to a bunch of different strategies and techniques, all that have been tested with the IRS. They're all proven strategies that, they're not schemes. They're not things that you're going to get in trouble for. They're really things that use the tax code efficiently and in a way that benefits you. And so I've employed that with a lot of clients, and I've saved clients hundreds of thousands of dollars, individual clients, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in total, probably millions of dollars by employing some of these strategies. And some of them apply on the business side, some on the personal side. But they're very effective and have tremendous impact. And what the beauty of that is, if you're not paying all that money into the government, you're retaining it, as you know, time value of money, it also builds wealth. So not only do you reduce your tax or eliminate tax, but you also grow wealth. And that's really where I think the value comes in.
Well, thank you very much. Would you mind if I asked a bonus question?
Go right ahead.
You talked about the why factor. Did I get that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you describe that a little bit?
Yeah, that's the first part of the framework that I start with.
So describe that a little bit.
So when I say why, I'm not talking WHY, I'm talking the letter Y. You've got the 2 points and you got the bottom point. We look at both the why for the business owner is 1 point. The other point at the top is going to be, what is the why for the business? Why does it exist? What is its purpose? And we also ask about the employees and why are they there? Why do they come into work every day? And the third one is really looking at the why of your customers. Why do your clients, your customers come and buy whatever it is, a product, a service from you? There has to be a reason. And you just want to make sure that you understand that, because that drives really your purpose of existence.
That was a selfish question because we've talked about that before. I really like that example. I
Yeah.
wanted you to share it again.
Yeah,
So
no, my pleasure.
thank you very much. It was great to see you, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. And
Yep.
we'll talk again soon. Take care,
Sounds
Eric.
good, Doug. Thank you.